This Closeness will be coming to New York City on June 7th, and on July 3rd, it will be coming to a streaming service called Mubi. I want to thank the fine folks over at Factory 25 for sending this over to me and letting you guys know if this film is worth a watch. So stick around and let's talk about this drama film. Tensions rise when a couple stays at the home of reclusive hosts, with the three entering an intimate battle to gain and reclaim territory. The film stars Zauhar, Zane Pais, Edlund, and Jessie Pinnick, and was directed by Zauhar, and I've never seen any of her films before. Before I dive into my positives, I do want to talk a little bit more about the plot of this movie, because the plot that they have here on Letterboxd really doesn't do the movie justice. Now, you have a couple here. You have Tessa and Ben, who have been together for just a little bit. They travel to Philadelphia because Ben is having a college reunion, and Tessa and Ben have rented out this apartment. They meet the owner named Adam, who is a recluse and very shy. You really see that, how he's just kind of hiding in his room. He's playing video games. He doesn't have a girlfriend or anything. And you have Ben, who is pretty much just going out and meeting up with all these different friends, even a girl that he really had a crush on named Lizzie in college. And he's just going out and he's getting hammered drunk. And you have Tessa, who's just hanging out at this apartment. And you have Adam, who is hanging out at this apartment as well. They both are just tied down there. And they really start to learn a little bit more about each other. Adam, he doesn't get along with Ben. You can tell that Ben here, he's very much a character that is just very about himself. And it really pissed me off because a lot of times throughout this film, he's just wandering off. He's leaving his girlfriend there. Why couldn't she actually go with him to the reunion and just hang out with him? I didn't really understand that. He seems like he came from money, or maybe he was a frat boy at one point. And just the way that he treats his girlfriend, it just seems like them as a couple, they don't really seem to really mesh well, as it seems like with Tessa's character, she seems to have some issues with being bullied when she was younger, or body image. But getting into the positives of what I actually liked about this film, I like Tessa's character here. She is somebody who does YouTube videos, but she does ASMR, so she gets people to really relax, and you really can tell that she's really trying to get Adam to relax. She has a session with him in which she's really trying to get him to relax, and you can tell that he is really buying into that. He's someone that obviously is very shy, awkward, and doesn't really get out. So I really did like to see that interaction between both characters. I think all these characters here you can really relate to, or if you can't relate to them, you know somebody that has these personality traits, which really goes into the fact that all these characters have a lot of depth, and I think even in a one central location, because this is all taking place in this apartment building, I think they do a really good job with just having the dialogue really bounce off each other, because there's only 4 characters in this entire movie, but I think the dialogue here, it just works. And I felt like even when they're talking about a lot of different subjects in this film, I felt like it was just flowing really well, and I felt like each character, they had something to say, and they were really developing each character throughout each scene. They made some great points of those with a shy, awkward personality, OCD, and those that have been bullied and or have problems with body image. Now, Adam, I think he is a very interesting character, because the fact that he's really awkward and he doesn't really have any friends or a girlfriend, he's one of those characters that would be very much dismissed in society as not being normal. And because he is somebody that is misunderstood, I feel like a lot of people are very much misunderstood when they don't have that really spiraling type of personality, like someone that literally is just really out there and just really talkative, and maybe, you know, just be a little bit shyer from those of the public eye, and maybe somebody that just really kind of wants to be to themselves, not necessarily dismissing other people, but just kind of a little bit more on the shyer side. And because of that, I feel like society really shuns those kinds of people. And Adam here, it definitely has OCD, and you see that when he tapes a bunch of car cards in the fridge to separate their food so that doesn't get mixed up. And so you see little traits like that where he is probably a very organized individual, but he's also an individual that's not around a lot of people. So when they get into the public eye of other people, they seem to really kind of shrivel up and they feel like they really just can't function within society. Now, getting into my negatives about this film, the cinematography in here, it's nothing too special. It is in one central location, nothing too crazy with the different shots here. I don't know how much rewatch value this film will have, as I did enjoy the character development and the depth between the characters, but I don't know if it's something that I would watch time and time again. I also didn't like the way that they ended this film, and when it got to the third act, I thought it was going into a different direction, especially between the couple here, because they do get into a fight and then it really shifts gears, and I was like, I don't know what they're doing here. What are they trying to say? So I think I missed the message towards that third act. I felt like I got a little bit of it, but at the same time, the way that the film is actually finished and how it really ends up, I was just like, oh, we really went that route. So it kind of ruined the fact of where I thought I was going to go. I thought we were going to get a little bit more out of that couple and just a little bit more about their problems, because we do get a glimpse of Tessa and the fact that she really is down and depressed, and you can tell that she's not really happy in their relationship. I do think that this film also has a message about couples and just picking your partner in general, because with Tessa and Ben, the fact that they are opposites, it really touches into mental health, and I think that it really does discuss the fact that a lot of times we get into these relationships and we don't really evaluate those relationships to a T. We get very much sidetracked at the fact that we don't want to be alone, and we get into this relationship with someone and they're not really good for us. They are someone that should not even be with us, and we tend to just get really comfortable and don't really want to get out of that relationship, and we just kind of settle. So I think the film is trying to tackle that, as well as it does go a little bit into the mental health of Tessa. I wish it would have dove a little bit more into Tessa and her health constraints and just different things that was really going on with her, because I felt like they kind of glossed over it a little bit. So as far as the score for this film, I would give it a 3 out of 5. I think overall it does dive into the characters and it dives into a lot of different subjects. I just think what really kind of downsized the score a little bit for me was towards the end and the messaging, because I think I got it a little bit, but I also think towards the end a little bit it kind of went off into a direction that I didn't think it was going to go into, and then it just ends, and I kind of was disappointed by that. So that's why I would give this film a 3 out of 5. However, if you guys have heard of this film and you have checked it out, let me know what you guys thought of it. If you have not checked it out, is it something that you're going to seek out and check out later down the line? Thank you guys for watching this review, and I will see you guys next time.